That's nasty. What's up, y'all?
What's up, man?
How everyone doing? Good. Let's get to it.
Dereck,
What do you?
I want to ask about Chet. He's obviously a great, rookie this year, but there's a little extra motivation going against him, and just what do you think you can do to stop him?
He's a great player. He picks and pops. He could roll. He could finish. He could shoot. There's a lot of things overall he could do well. So he's going to be able to just find his rhythm, try to be able to get him off of his spots, and try to make him uncomfortable.
What emotions go into losing Maxey? Obviously, Kidd talked about next man up, but I'm sure you guys as teammates just got to feel awful.
I mean, yeah, just seeing one of our family members go down that bad we all get hit. Just being able to know we got to be able to pick them up. There's a lot of people who's looking at us, a lot of people who's questioning what we're going to do, but Maxey knows that we got his back, and we know that he's going to do whatever he can to get better. But we got to be able to take it game by game, next man up, like as you said.
After the midseason trade, you beat this team by 35 points. What do you take from that game going into game one?
It's definitely going to be a dogfight. Both teams got a lot of animosity going into the game. Everyone wants to come out and throw the first punch, but it's going to be able to who could take the first punch and then throw another. That's really what this game's going to be about.
I don't think Dereck played in that game doing.
I didn't.
I know. I say, what do you take us team? Animosity. Why does both teams have a lot of animosity?
I just feel like there's two great teams. Everyone's always just trying to compete, and now we're in a playoff atmosphere. So it just takes everything that we thought was high intensity in the middle of the season, and it just ramps it up tenfold.
How about in terms of you individually? Obviously last playoff series was your first experience. Do you find yourself getting more and more comfortable with playoff basketball as that series
For sure.
played out?
It really comes down to possession by possession. You got to be able to understand how the refs are calling the game. You got to be able to understand the flow of the game. And you got to be able to understand that every single touch matters. So you got to be able to set the screen correctly. You got to be able to know the play correctly. But at the same time, you can't be a robot. You got to go out there and play basketball. You got to be able to make reads. You got to be able to be comfortable. You got to be able to trust your teammates.
These two teams are forever linked to each other because of what happened on draft night and obviously you being drafted to this team. Have you thought about any of that, obviously, since the matchup has been made official, about what kind of maybe full circle moment this kind of is for you in this way?
I feel like, you could say that, but, both teams got what they needed. Dallas got a big, OKC got a great defender, a great guard. So we know that Kaysen's a great player. Kaysen knows I'm a great player. We have a lot of respect for one another. So it's going to be able to just see who can go out there and do the most, who can go out there and do the best little things so that they can affect the game.
So like playing with Kyrie, and by that I mean, the other twice in this series, he has basically nothing in the first half, and then turns it up and breaks loose and goes nuts in the second half. Do you guys sense that when he's slipping into
getting hot? For sure. You can sense whenever he's really locked in, and sometimes it just takes maybe a missed shot, it takes maybe just a layup, or maybe even just an assist, and you could just start to see how in tune that he is into the game, how locked in, and how he's trying to find his spots. He's not rushed. He's not out of control. He's one of the most under control. He's one of the most controlled players I know. Let me say that correctly.
Is it similar with Luka when he's starting to get locked in, or
For
is
sure.
does it feel the same, or does it feel or look slightly different, or is it very similar?
It really comes down to everyone just watching the ball and then just watching Luka's eyes, because his eyes are going to be able to tell you all you need to know. You're going to tell if he's mad. You're going to tell if he's locked in. You're going to tell him if he wants a matchup or who he wants. You're going to be able to tell that just by the way he looks at you. Mm-hmm. Having just two monsters like that in the team just makes everybody feel more confident on the floor. Makes them want to step up and make that shot, or step up and make the right read.
Can you talk about your relationship with Tyson Chandler and Sean Sweeney? We see the two of them working with you day by day. How has that relationship developed and what you've gotten from them?
I almost talk to those two daily, if not daily. Being able to know that, when I went home, usually it was my mom to talk basketball too. And, that was, at this point, I can't do that anymore. So I find myself talking to Sweeney and Tyson Chandler even more, texting them about a clip or how I should guard this specific screen, how I should guard this specific post move, what positioning should I be in this time. And it's just trying to figure out how I can learn as much as possible in this high-intensity environment. Tyson's been in this, and Tyson's probably, he has more excitement out there than anyone on the floor. And that's crazy because I'm 20. and he has more excitement than me. Just being able to have someone like that there just makes me feel more confident and just makes me just want to learn much more faster.
Dereck, you talked about your experience in the first round of the playoffs. From a team perspective, what would you like to see carry over into the series with the Thunder?
The attention to detail, the dedication in the matchup, the dedication to the next man up mentality, and the dedication to the game plan. You know, we all know what we're trying to do. We all know what matchup, what play we're trying to run, what action we're trying to get into, and what defense we're trying to run. But at the same time, it's all going to come down to if we can be able to talk, trust, be able to communicate on the floor.
And how much does avoiding a game 7, getting rest and getting more preparation do for this team?
It gives us definitely a second to put ice on our knees, take a second to be able to review some film, learn from our mistakes, and be able to try to reflect and try to just become a better player. Because, everything comes down to just little details.
I know I've asked you this already during the season, but from summer league to the regular season to now, it seems like you and Chet just been going at it. So how does it feel to be going against him again for pretty much the third time?
It's amazing. He's a great player. He's a great person, and he just has this competitive bone in him that just makes everybody just wants to step up and check him. Being able to know that he's going to go out there, he's going to shoot a three, he's going to yell in your face, he's going to go out there, he's going to block a shot, he's going to dunk. It just makes you just that much more excited what's going to happen. He's going to be a great player, so he's got to be able to make yourself step up even higher.
Dereck, what did you learn specifically from your first playoff series?
Trust the routine. There's going to be a lot of different things going on in your life. There's going to be a lot of things going on off the floor, a lot of different game times, a lot of things going on. But all you can do is just trust your routine that you've been building all season.
Obviously, who scores the most points wins, but how important is it to dial things up on the defensive end of the court?
A lot more physicality, just a lot more dedication of just, if you're going to set a screen, you got to set and hit the screen. You got to hit the person with the screen. But at the same time, if you're on defense, you got to get over it. So there's just a lot of more third and fourth efforts rather than the first and second efforts that you see throughout the normal season.
You a better singer than Chet?
I don't sing at all, so I could give him that. I can barely speak English at this time of day, so I definitely don't got that.
What's most challenging about facing a guard with size and pace that plays into the gaps like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as the anchor of the defense?
It's just going to be able to just try to show him a crowd, trying to make sure that we know where his spots is trying to be and we're trying to get him off of his spots, trying to make him uncomfortable, as I said. And, he's a great player. He's going to make those shots. He's going to make tough shots. He's going to make crazy shots. But at the same time, we got to be able to take it out and push the ball up the floor with pace. It's going to be a possession-by-possession game, as we know. So he's going to be able to go out there and who's going to be able to make the correct transition play or who's going to make the correct defensive read. So it's really just going to come down to a lot of fine details.
Since the games are basically played every other day, is there an advantage either way that, you got a short trip?
I guess, yeah. It's definitely better being on a plane for 45 minutes than 2.5 hours. Mm-hmm. It's definitely instead of it's like a long drive rather than a long flight. Mm-hmm. So being able to have that quick turnaround can definitely help us be able to get our bodies and our minds right.
So you don't drive up there?
No, definitely not. But it's different looking at a 45-minute flight than a 2-hour and 45-minute flight.
Okay.
All right, let's. Maxie's out. Timmy return to practice. We'll see how he feels tomorrow, and then Omax is out.
How big was this loss for Maxie?
What's next man up? So we would love to be healthy, but Maxie's out, so there's nothing we can do. It's on to the next guy.
So who's the next guy?
And when we get Timmy back, so we get healthy there. So that's how we'll look at it, is that we lost Maxie, but we get Timmy back.
In terms of bigs, do you see Markieff as a possibility for getting some minutes?
Yeah, Oklahoma's not a big team, so
Right.
Looking at
In terms of versatility, because they do versatile bigs.
Who does? Oklahoma
City.
Yeah. Yeah, we can look at Keith, DP, PJ. We got quite a few bigs that we can go to. So we're not short on bigs.
Right, okay. Do you in any way view, everybody's pointing out the fact that OKC has the youngest roster to make us second round entry ever. Do you view them in any way as a young team? I mean, their play on the court does not seem to indicate that.
Yeah, they're young on paper, but they have Coach of the Year. Mark's done an incredible job with that group. You look at Shea, MVP candidate, could easily win MVP. You look at Dort, has been in the league. They've been together, as a group. Chet is young, but they play, hard. They play extremely well at home. But on paper, they're young, but they had the best record in the West. And so, age it's not about age, it's about being able to execute. And hopefully we can do that on the road.
Do they remind you any, Jason, of the team you guys played in 2011, the OKC team with Hart and Westbrook?
Yeah, they were young. That group was young. In 2011, they were good too, and they were well coached with Scotty. So again, there are some similarities. When you look at that, that was a big team too. When you look at this team with Oklahoma City, they have a bunch of smalls and mediums who can flat out, score the ball. And so we have to do a good job of guarding the ball, on ball. They're one of the best teams of being able to get in the gaps and get to the rim. And so we got to protect the rim and the paint.
A couple of years ago, you described the team that went to the conference finals as you would often describe it as a young team. Now, 2 years later, the two stars leading are older. One of them is different. But a lot of the role players, at least by age, are even younger than they were then. What stage of development, is this roster, is this team, both going into this playoffs and then going forward?
Yeah, I think it's a young team. Some of the major pieces got here at the trade deadline. So I would say that it's young. Luka's still young. He's only 25. But when you look at Kai, he's 30-something. You have to, again, go through different scenarios, situations, good and bad, learn from them, and find a way to win. And that's what this group has done, since the trade deadline. Is we've used the season to be successful, and also we've had some situations where we didn't play our best, but we learned from them, and we've used that experience into the playoffs.
After that trade deadline, you beat this team by 35 points. How much stock do you put in that game, and what can you learn from that game going forward?
Yeah, that's just a regular season game. Playoffs are a little bit different, but that's, I think, the only game that Kai and Luka played together. So we really didn't have our group when we played Oklahoma City, especially the last game. But again, with having everyone right after the trade deadline, with making that trade and having Kai and Luka play for the first time against Oklahoma City, we can look at some of the things that we had success with, and hopefully we can do that again on Tuesday.
What did you learn about your group in taking out the Clippers that you want to obviously carry over going into this round with the Thunder, whether it be offensively, defensively, or from a mindset standpoint? What did you learn about this group?
Yeah, this is a team. We're a group. We play together. A lot of the attention will be on Luka and Kai, but the role players believe they're a big part of this too. And so no one's going to panic if things don't go well for us. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it. We watch it on film. But this group is tightly, a tight group that does a lot of things together on and off the floor. So that's what I've learned in this first series, is that there is no panic. There's a lot of calmness with this group, and everybody just goes out there and does their job. That doesn't mean that you're always going to win, but if you can put your best foot forward, that gives you a chance, and that's all we can ask for.
You've known Kyrie a long, long time, and you talked the other night about his worldliness. How have you seen him maybe mature. I don't know if that's the right word, but how he's changed in the years leading up to now.
Yeah, I think that's a question for him. But from the outside, you look at his calmness. He's at peace, and sometimes at a certain age in life, that comes about. But also with the people that he's around, maybe plays a part in that too. And so, and I'm guessing, but that could also have something to do with it. But you can see he's smiling, he's happy, and he's been that way, I think, since he arrived last year after at the trade deadline. When we made that trade for him, I thought you saw that he was happy and he was at peace, and I don't think he's been very consistent with that, up to this point. And so I think he's just happy. But I've known him for a long time, and he's always been one to be happy. But he loves competition, and he wants to win, and you can see that right now.
What about Dallas as a sports market? Both of you guys went through the meat grinder, so to speak, of New York. Do you think Dallas as a sports market is maybe a little less harsh in terms of whether it's media, fans, or some combination of?
You want me to answer that for him?
No,
I can't. For
you've
me,
been through it.
I can care less. I think you guys understand that. I don't care what you guys say, so you can write or think what you want. You have a right to your opinion, but my job is to make these young men better on and off the floor, and I think I've done that, but you guys won't say that, but that's cool.
Pretty much.
No, don't go into I. There's a team in here.
I'm pretty sure I have.
I'm joking.
I'm pretty sure I have said and written
I know.
that. But,
I'm joking.
okay.
I'm joking.
There's also some players who that does affect more,
Yeah, that's my job. Is you can see my teams don't panic. We're not going to panic because we lost a game. That's up to the fans.
But
There's no I in team, but there's an ME.
Yeah. Not here, but I think this is a great group. Everybody gets along. Everybody cheers for each other. I think you guys have seen that. It's a great group. Nico has done an incredible job of putting this group together, and in a short amount of time, it's had success. So now the goal is to continue to build on that, stack as many good days. There's going to be some days where things don't go well, but we come back to work and we find a way to get better, and that's what it's all about. It's about team. Again, Luka and Kai are going to get a lot of the attention, but when you hear them talk, they talk about the other guys, which is sometimes you don't see that with star players, but that's cool to see.
Coach, I wanted to ask about Chet. I know you're not going to give away your strategy for guarding him, but can you just talk about his rookie season, what you thought about him this year?
Yeah, he's been great. Sweeney knows him well from AAU days in Minnesota. So, you look at his frame. He's one of the top shot blockers in the league. He can put it on the floor. Loves the game of basketball. Competes. Had a heck of a season this year, and so we have to be conscious of him when he's on the floor at the rim because he finds a way to block shots, and so we have to account for him.
Jason, you talked about this being a great team. What's the key in the foundation blocks to build a great team?
Patience, time. I think also having the right people. And that sometimes it takes time to find those right pieces, and when you do, you hold on to them and you continue to look for those other pieces. And right now we have a lot of pieces that fit, and so this group is really, really good in a shorter amount of time, and so we have to build on that.
People will kind of bring up the rest versus rush question. It'll be 10 days since they played. I guess roughly 4 for you guys. Do you think the 4-day window is actually kind of a good in-between where you'll get a little recoup time, but also maybe not lose your edge?
Yeah, I think when we get rest, we're terrible. We've seen that with the All-Star break and at the end of the season. So hopefully this is enough rest for those guys. But I'm just joking. But we'll see. Sometimes there could be a little rust early, but at this point of the season, the more rest that you can get, because you guys are playing heavy minutes, the better it is.
In a situation like this, Jason, when you're basically playing every other day now, how much of an advantage is it for you guys playing this team as opposed to Portland, which is way up the street?
Yeah, the commute is easier. We're playing late games, so except Saturday. So yeah, it's good that we don't have to travel to LA. We're happy that we're not playing today in LA, and so the travel is good. But we're playing the best team in the Western Conference, and so this is a great challenge for us.
Is Luka so good at assists that he passed his cold to you?
I think so. I don't know. Well, somebody did.
Sorry to hear that.
No worries. Oh, so let's just talk about medical. Luka's probable right knee sprain. Maxi's out. Hardaway's available. Omax is out, and Fudge is out.
Congratulations on the contract.
Thanks.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I got a new deal. That's about it. I'm very thankful for Patrick and Nico, and to be able to have a new deal going forward. Truly believe, Patrick and Nico are building a championship team, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
What does that mean to you that they saw the job that you've done and they appreciated it and they rewarded you accordingly?
Yeah, it means a lot. The work that the coaching staff and the players are putting in, means a lot, and hopefully they saw that, and through the good and through the stuff that we had to get better at, this is work in progress. This is a very talented team, and so to be a part of it, I'm very blessed.
Over the past 3 years, what are you proud that you've instilled in this team?
Probably just the calmness, development, and on and off the floor, a winning mindset. Just those couple things probably.
You said calmness. It was a kind of a chaotic ending last year. How do you think that your character traits kind of helped you and the club get through that and get to this point here?
Yeah, I think last year we learned a lot about character, about the team. There was a couple pivots there that late in the season, and it turned out to be the right thing. At the time, everyone had their opinion, but understanding what the plan is. Internally, I thought we executed the plan, and we were thankful to get Omax and Lively, out of that plan. So, but being calm and not, what others say, turned out to be the right thing.
Coach, with this contract, what's your message to Mavericks fans now that this come to fruition?
Yeah, I think we're trying to win a championship, and so we have an opportunity. We're playing a very talented team in Oklahoma City, but understanding that the foundation is being built, and our ultimate goal is to win a championship, and hopefully we can do that here in the next 3 years.
When you're preparing for a guy like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, defensively in the Clippers series, you had Derrick Jones Jr. on Paul George. Do you see a similar effect that he can have, I guess, on that end, facing their top perimeter player?
Yeah, he's up for MVP. He's one of the best young players in this league, and so he puts a lot of pressure on your defense, and everyone's going to get a chance to guard him. Just understand we're coming out of a series with Paul George and Harden, who can, flat out score the ball. So hopefully we can have some carryover from the defensive side to just try to make it tough on Shai and those guys. They're going to make tough shots. Our theory is try to make them take tough shots, and hopefully that we can get them to miss some.
All the old guard superstars have been sent home except for one. What's the value that Kyrie brings with his experience to this team?
Yeah, I think wisdom and experience, understanding what it means this time of the year. Again, there's no panic, there's calmness. He's under control. His tone when he speaks to the team is confident, and so it's great to have someone like that in your locker room this time of the year.
What's the challenge with Chet on both ends of the floor for you guys?
Yeah, Chet can step out and shoot the three. He can put it on the floor. He can finish. He can shoot. And also pass. He has a total package, and then defensively, you got to account for him. If he's at the rim, he has a great chance of blocking the shot or changing the shot. So, understand when you're going to try to challenge him, he wins most of those battles. So again, he can change the game on the defensive end and on the offensive end.
Jason, you guys definitely got bigger after the trade deadline, but even since the trade deadline, offensive rebounding isn't something that you guys, your stats were way up in the league about. Do you feel like that's a strength, especially going against a team that's chosen to field a smaller lineup? Do you think it's something that for certain matchups and situations you guys are able to turn on as a weapon for you?
Yeah, at this time of year, if you can get second and third opportunities, that helps. And we're going to need that against Oklahoma City, is to be able to get second or third opportunities. Just understanding they can be small at times, so our bigs and our smalls have to try to get offensive rebounds to give us a second or third opportunity if we want to win this series.
We talked about Kyrie's experience, but how much will experience overall play a factor in this series, especially with OKC being so young?
What was that? I didn't hear the first part. What was that?
You talked about Kyrie's experience individually, but how much will experience play overall?
Yeah, experience comes into play if you're put in that situation. Everybody's going to talk about their young team, but it's basketball. They know how to play. They're the number one team in the West. They have Coach of the Year, Mark, and so understanding they've been experienced, they've been through, they've been together for some time now. So just understanding until you can put them into a experienced situation, they're going to play basketball. They're going to play the way that they've been playing all season. So our job is to try to hopefully put them in a position that experience comes into play.
Jason, no one knows your career like as well as you do, but when you have moments with the contract extension, do you give yourself time to reflect on how far you've gotten?
Yeah, I don't have after the season maybe,
Okay.
and then there's always stuff to do after the season. So again, I'm very humble and thankful for this opportunity with the Mavs to try to win a championship. But again, like I told the players this morning, I thank them for this opportunity because it's them that helped get this deal. The development, being able to win, and then also having the opportunity to win a championship. So I'm very thankful for that.
Do you think makes Lou Dort a good defender?
He plays hard at all times. Dort is he's one that's going to compete when he's on the floor. That's how he came in the league, and that's how he's still playing. And he's probably going to. Until he leaves the league, he's going to play hard, and so he understands his defense has caused a problem in this league. He plays hard for the time that he's out on the floor. He knows no other way, so he causes a problem on the defensive end.
Losing Maxey, but hopefully getting Tim back. How do you kind of view that and on the personnel front, and how important is Tim to try to step in there with Maxey out?
Yeah, it's unfortunate to lose Maxey. Maxey was playing well for us defensively and offensively. I think he was our best three-point shooter. But looking at getting Timmy back is a good thing, and we're going to need Timmy coming off the bench to be able to give us some offense, but also his experience of being in the playoffs is going to come into play, and we're going to need that experience on the floor, especially here with the first two games on the road.
Coach, speaking of Tim, how would you say he and Luke have progressed from an injury standpoint over the past few days?
They've been great. They look great. They look like they're ready to go.
Yeah, first of all, your comments on Kidd getting a contract extension this morning.
Oh, my biggest congrats to him. I mean, obviously well deserved. One of the I would say best coaches this year from what I've been seeing, just, real poised. He knows how to really assert himself, assert the dominance in the locker room when it comes to whenever we need to get our heads on straight. But in all honesty, just biggest congrats to him. Like I said, well-deserved. Something I'm pretty sure he's been working towards for the longest. I can't wait for what's next for the team, most definitely.
What are some of the ways that he has helped you become a better player?
In all honesty, just, really just, I would say, trying to give me as much confidence as he possibly can. At the end of the day, there's times where, I've shown a lot of frustration and shown my feelings on my sleeve out on the court. At the end of the day, I got teammates that, that always push me to try to get myself out of the funk, but he does the same thing too. And he tells me to just keep going, keep doing the things that I'm doing on an elite level and just kind of be consistent with it. So that's some of the main things. It's pretty much the best advice he can give me at this point right now.
As someone who's going to be matched up against Chet, what are the differences going against him versus going against Zubats?
Well, Chet, he stretches the floor a lot more. He's a more dynamic guy. Zubac, he was more of a back to the basket, bang, bang, bang under the basket. So for sure, I'm going to be saving just some of the upper body and stuff this round for sure, because just with the last series, it was just, the physicality was through the roof. And I know for a fact it's not going to be any different with this team. They're a young, scrappy team, so we just got to come out prepared, in all honesty.
You had big games when, 2 times you guys played the Thunder after the trade deadline. What do you remember about playing in those games and how you were successful and just about how, the team was successful overall?
I try to forget the second one because I missed my Will Chamberlain record. But in all honesty, I just go out and just do my job at the end of the day, with as much attention and I would say gravity that Luka and Kyrie pulls towards them. It just kind of like opens the floor up for anybody out there. At the end of the day, I would say it's going to be a real good series for the bigs to just go out and just kind of like set the tone physically. Because once we set the tone physically, I feel like we'll be in a good place for sure.
And let's be honest, you got fouled on that one that broke the record.
Man, look, you can say that. I can't. They might find me,
2 months ago, they're going to find you.
You never know. Man, look, hey. Oh, man.
Anything else?
Daniel, how important will the lob attack be against this Thunder team?
It'd be real important. Just keeping our spacing and just, getting downhill. I would say they pack the paint a lot with this team that we're going to go play, and we just got to make sure we make the right decisions down the stretch to kind of like, keep us from having turnovers, keep us poised, and really just help us. I find some type of way to just help us execute consistently down the stretch.
Daniel, how much concentration has there been on being strong with the ball against these guys because they force more turnovers than anybody else, get more points off turnovers?
100%. Like that's just I would say that's kind of like the first thing that was said today. They swipe at the ball all the time, whether you're big or small. If you're going into the paint, you better go in there and make sure you finish, or you just make sure you just redrive and throw it out to anybody that's out on the perimeter to be ready to shoot. Because at the end of the day, trying to make sure we take care of the ball is kind of like our main goal. Just with a team like this, they ranked high in steals with at least I would say, maybe 3-4 players on their team. So we just have to make sure that we kind of like take care of everything when it comes to just like our execution offensively.
What would you say is the one thing you learned from that Clipper series that you can take into this series against OKC?
Just physicality at the end of the day and just being early, making sure guys hear us. Because I know it's going to be real crazy going into this OKC crowd. It's going to be real loud. So we just got to make sure when it comes to our principles that we know at the end of the day, because there's going to be a lot of coverage that's probably going to get messed up because of the simple fact that they're not going to be able to hear us on the backside. But in all honesty, just the physicality and the energy. They're going to come out head full of steam. They had a great last series against the Pelicans. So, they got a chip on their shoulder for sure. So they're going to come out swinging, and we got to do the same thing.
Shea's obviously not going to be your primary matchup, but rim protection is critical against a guy like that. What do you guys need to do to keep him from getting in a groove?
To really just be as vertical as possible consistently, don't fall for pump fakes, and stay out of foul trouble, in all honesty. Trying to do our best. At the end of the day, trying to protect the basket of guys that predominantly always go down to the basket trying to finish around the rim. That's just like our main thing. Just staying poised and just staying together. Communication is key.
What's the impact of being without Maxey, and what does that mean for what you need to do?
It just gives everybody else the opportunity to step up in his place and just kind of like pick up where he left off. He went down tough. It's really just tough to just even think about it in all honesty because the last 2 games of the Clipper series he was real big, most definitely. And to just really just pick up where he left off, we just have to keep that energy into how he impacted the game. That's then the last 2 games of that series for sure.
How much stock do you guys put in the fact that the one game that Luka and Kyrie both played against this team, you guys beat them by 35?
I don't think anybody. In all honesty, I don't think anybody has really even said anything about it.
That
Really,
was
you
your
know.
first game.
Yeah, I know. I know. What's crazy is, we just put the clips together and just really just find ways to just implement what their tendencies are and just find ways to just kind of like prevent that. In all honesty, try to be consistent and just trying to kind of like piggyback off of what we did when we won against them in the past and just implement that into these next few games that we got against them.
So when everybody's talking about like the change that the team made after the trade deadline, they talk about the trades for you and for PJ, and those two names get put together so much that it's like I think we almost forget that you guys are on completely different teams.
Yeah, well, I think we started to look alike too.
So obviously like you weren't teammates before the deadline, but I'm curious. Is there any sort of bond or anything that developed between you guys, both coming into the same situation and experiencing the same turnaround, not being a part of it from the beginning of the season?
With me and PJ, we played against each other during AAU ball all the time. He was on Team Penny, I was with the Arkansas Wings. So I had a fair amount of times where I was always, I would say, in the same gym as him majority of the time. So, I would say we somewhat created a bond because he went to Kentucky, I went to Arkansas. We was always in the same gym at one point in time throughout our career. So just being on the same team now is just like, it was like, I can't even think of the phrase of it. We'll come back to it, but but it's just I would say I wouldn't say it's destined, but it was at pretty much the right time. In all honesty, we both were put in a position to be able to take that next step forward in our career, and we just took advantage of that and just worked hard and just was ready for that. I would say next step. It's always one door closes and another door opens.
And was there any help? Like did you guys kind of as you were trying to figure out, pick out the schemes, especially the first few weeks, was it? Did you guys kind of bounce stuff off each other? Was there any ability to kind of help each other out in that way?
Yeah, in some instances, yes, because when we first got here, they got us in the gym. They taught us all the schemes, the calls, the plays, so on and so forth. And then if one was confused, we always helped each other out at the end of the day, or we just asked questions. No, pretty much no question is the worst question.
Danielle, I heard you say that OKC is a young and scrappy team, but I'm also hearing how much you guys are preparing for them. What does it say about the respect level that you guys have for your opponent, knowing that they're a little bit younger?
I mean, at the end of the day, they're an NBA team, and they're one of the top NBA teams this season. So we just have to, for sure, just come out and be ready for a dogfight, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing all the dog barking and stuff once we get there at the end of the day. So, we just have to be ready to come out and just be ready to go blow for blow. Play by play, we just have to just come out and just play with just like that edge to just come out and try to win basketball games.